Hello and welcome to a new video. Today again about AI ChatGPT, and I want to see if ChatGPT can forecast the battery runtime of IoT sensors. In this workspace, I have 1 month of data, so from last year to this year, current date, on battery voltage in CO2 sensors. They have been deployed 3 years ago already. I'm not sure, but this data doesn't look like there's a trend. It goes down a little bit at the end, but let's ask ChatGPT. We can export chart data by clicking on this button, download CSV file, and then let's go to ChatGPT. And in here we are going to upload the file. I'm going to drop it and ask him. So I asked him to just analyze the CSV file and do a forecasting on when the battery will go empty or reach 3.2 volts, and also include a couple of more information in here. It's also quite interesting to see what ChatGPT is doing. It's describing all of its work and then starting analyzing by, again, creating Python code in a sandbox that will be executed in the sandbox, and then the result will be printed out on the ChatGPT thread. And ChatGPT was also finding out what I was already finding out, that the trend indicates a general stability in voltage levels with slight fluctuations. Yes, that's true. So it's quite interesting to see if he's still able to determine that happens very often lately. Okay, I needed to restart. This happens because I think that the overall load on the ChatGPT system is very, very high and increasing daily. Because yes, this tool can be used to increase your productivity. You can always restart it. Sometimes you need to reload it and then redo the query, especially when you're running with this analysis features and just upload CSV files. I was able to upload very huge and big CSV files with lots of time series data. It works quite good. Before it was a bit slower, now it's super fast again, and let's see what he comes up with. Again, as you can see here in the first plot, this looks very similar to the Datacake chart, just that I was cutting off this pike here, this peak. And then we can see some statistical summary. And it's quite interesting to see that the standard deviation of these sensors over a year is very, very minimal. I do know that sensor number 1 is in a room where there's lots of activity, and all of these sensors have a PIR sensor, so act on motion. That means that probably this indicates that this sensor, which has more activity inside of the room, has of course a bigger standard deviation than the other ones. Now ChatGPT is trying to analyze or predict when the battery voltage might drop to or below 3.2 volts. I have to say this is not a percentual value, and there's not a fuel gauge that will tell you exact state of charge. So this is just, we are working with the voltage in here. And I think that the voltage curve is very stable, and then before the battery drops out of charge, it just goes down completely. So it's quite interesting here that ChatGPT tells us that all of these sensors, it's probably never happening that within the next year the voltage is dropping to a significant amount. But let's go further. Okay, I had to restart the whole process once more and created a new ChatGPT thread, upload the file again, and told him, well, just please give me the forecast over the next 5 years, plot the result and the trend of battery in that plot, please. Okay, we can see the result, and this is quite interesting. You can see here the trends based on the sensor battery reading for 1 year. And still it's the case that in 2029, none of the sensors will be below the minimal voltage of 3.2 or 3.1 voltage. This means that I need to create basically a new video in 5 years that will prove if this has been right or not. I need to find a sensor that has more battery usage and then do the forecasting once more. Or maybe also work with temperature forecasting or whatever. But this is quite interesting to see, the new ChatGPT can be used to forecast voltage or battery levels on IoT sensors. That's it. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.